everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I am now 31 weeks pregnant and this is my pregnancy update for the past week. So hi everyone, welcome back, and hello if you're new and you have no clue who I am. I'm Charlotte and I'm currently pregnant with my third baby, who is a little boy, and I've already got a little boy and a little girl already. But I'm going to get right into this update. I'm actually quite surprised that I'm able to record it at all, because if you've seen my last few updates you'll know that I've been slightly expecting Daisy to come down with chickenpox after Bill had it over the New Year period, and she came down with it 2 days ago now, so this is like her third day of it. And I guess the biggest, I say symptom, but the biggest thing I'm struggling with this week is tiredness, and I am finding it really hard because obviously she is my daughter, like she's right here right now, she needs me, and I am also quite heavily pregnant now, so I'm finding it really difficult to sort of prioritize her but also look after myself at the same time, because if I don't look after myself I can't look after this baby in my tummy. So it's one of those, and I find that the more children you have, obviously this is something that just gets harder and harder, and I guess it's just a given and you've got to roll with it, haven't you? You have to. But she's just been like really difficult the past few nights, really hard to get her to sleep in her own bed. She's very uncomfortable, and because she's only 21 months she doesn't really understand like don't scratch, or like, you know, tell mama and dada if you need like cream on you because you're itchy. Like she can't communicate that with us like Bill did, so it's a little bit more difficult, I would say, than when he had it, because he at least understood what we were saying to him and could tell us how he was feeling. So that's been really difficult, and I've been having issues anyway, just like with an achy back and getting comfortable in bed and going to the toilet more. So that's definitely been something that has made this week really hard, but she is so worth it, and fingers crossed she is out of it soon and feels a lot better by the time the weekend is out. So I have a few more symptoms, I guess, this week as well, and two of them are involving food and like my approach to food again, which is quite funny because obviously in the first trimester that's where all the aversions start and the sickness starts, whereas second and third trimester tend to be relatively plain sailing, aside from like a bit of tiredness and things like that. But as you might know, I am a huge coffee fan, like a massive coffee fan. But what I've noticed now is that in the mornings, I'm not always keen on the idea of a cup of coffee, like first thing. And I still want to have a cup of coffee. I still feel like I need a cup of coffee at the moment, or 10, sadly, that I can't have. But I don't know, sometimes I've had one and it's felt like a bit odd in my tummy and I get like a weird taste in my throat, and I'm just not enjoying that. So that's been quite a new one, because it's such a part of my routine to have a coffee and have my, like, you know, granola or a bagel or some toast or something, fruit, and now I'm like, oh, I think I'll just have like fresh orange juice instead. So that's new. And then another thing that's new, and it's a craving, are yogurts. Now this might not seem like anything too out of the ordinary to normal people, but I'm not a massive yogurt fan. And don't get me wrong, I will have yogurts like if I'm in the mood, but it's very infrequent that I fancy one. I'm not really like a big fan of like sweet dairy, really, like cheesecake, not a fan of that either. But I have been craving them something rotten, and I'm having about 1 or 2 a day, and I'm trying to limit myself, because obviously some of them can be quite high in sugar, but I've really enjoyed them, and it's a sweet treat that I've been going to since Christmas, and I've stopped trying to go for chocolate and things like that and tried to go for fruit and yogurt instead. And I have to say I've really enjoyed my yogurts, so that's a new thing, to see like the fridge full of yogurts for me and not just fromage frais for the kids. And then the other symptoms that are to do like directly with pregnancy would be that I am now getting a really achy crotch. I'm getting lightning crotch, or fanny daggers as some people call them, and I am really aware of his movements down there now, and they are quite painful. As I said in my last update, he's a very painful mover, and he does hurt me, and I don't always enjoy it. He just gave me a little wiggle then, as if to say like, I am listening, mama, you better be nice about me. But yeah, I am feeling it a lot more down there, particularly say if I'm sat on the floor with the kids and I'm playing with them. If I go to get up, I feel like my lady parts are like screaming and they're like, don't move too quickly or we're gonna fall apart and all of your insides are gonna fall out and you'll die. That is how I feel sometimes. I'm still able to get out and about. Like, I do the school run, I walk everywhere. I'm not really a big driver, so I tend to walk everywhere throughout the week, and I'm still quite mobile, which is really, really good. And I haven't had like SPD type symptoms that I had with Daisy, which is great, but I am starting to feel very heavy and achy down there now, and it's not fun, is it? Now, the big thing that's happened this week, I guess, is that I've had my 31-week midwife appointment. As I mentioned in my last update, I had to have repeat bloods done, so I took in like a little baggy thing, like a sterile bag that they put the blood work in with like all the information on. I took that in with me because they sent me one through the post, so that's gone off now. And then once that was done, she just checked how I was feeling. My blood pressure was fine and my urine was fine, which is great because I always like to make sure that those two things are okay, because in Bill's pregnancy, my first pregnancy, I actually had a bit of a pre-eclampsia scare later on. I think it was about 34 weeks, and that was really frightening, but it actually turned out to be a urine infection that kind of corrected itself while I had to stay in hospital just to check I was okay and he was okay. So every time when I get to this point, I'm like, oh, okay, everything, please be all right, please be all right, and it was. And then after that, we went over to the bed and let her lay down, and she listened to his heartbeat and everything sounded perfect. I love that. I don't think it will ever get old, and it's one of the things that I am quite sad about when this pregnancy comes to an end, because I'm not planning on having any more children, and it just seems like such a sad thing to sort of let go of. And then she measured me. So the interesting thing that they're doing in the NHS in the UK at the moment is that they have now got graphs that plot your past pregnancies on, so they can determine what kind of weight your baby should be as they start to check you. So if you are measuring slightly smaller or you're measuring slightly bigger, then there's no cause for concern and there's no like need to alarm you if it fits with your record. So for example, Daisy was on the 74th centile when she was born because she was 8 pounds 11 ounces. So this baby boy, I guess, should be very similar, because obviously he is made up of mine and Mark's genetics, and boys do tend to be bigger, so I'm told. So she measured my tummy, and that's measuring the fundal height, so they measure it where the top of your uterus ends and then like your pubic bone basically. And the good thing for me is that I was measuring spot on 31 weeks, which was great, and I was like, oh phew, that's good, because quite a lot of people that have seen me in real life have said that my bump is very, very big this time around. But then when she palpated my tummy to see what position he is, well, the great news there was that he was head down, and that was really exciting. I knew he was head down because I get a lot of my movement up on my right hand side here where he kicks, and he's been in that position for a while, so I knew he was head down, but it was nice to have it confirmed. But she said from feeling him and feeling the size of him, he seems like quite a big baby. So sometimes the bump can be measuring spot on, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a small or a big baby. And yeah, she says that he's definitely spot on to be another 8 pounder at least. And then I suppose the only other thing that I have to mention, like in terms of like day-to-day pregnant life, is that I feel like I've started preparing now. I went online the other night and I ordered a few bits, so I've got things like breast pads. These are the Lancino ones, they're like my favourite. These are cheapest on Amazon. And I also got some of the Lancino HPA lanolin cream for cracked nipples. I had this with Bill and with Daisy, and I just think it's a lifesaver either for breastfeeding like I did with him or expressing like I did with her, so I always have to have this with me. And then I bought a massive pack of water wipes. So there are 12 packs of 60 wipes in here and 720 wipes in total. I got these from Amazon because again they were cheaper on there, and I like to use these basically until these run out, until my baby gets to like a certain age. I might repurchase another box if I feel like I need to, and then I'll probably move on to the Aldi Mamia wipes. A few of you have been asking whether or not I'll be doing a what's in my hospital bag, and I'll be doing one for me and one for baby, so they'll hopefully be coming very soon. I just need to get bits sorted first, obviously, before I film them. Other bits that I need to pick up today are maternity pads that I've ordered that I'm going to collect from Boots, and like Argh tablets, and then I need to get a few toiletries sorted, and then take a trip to Primark for some like leggings and big knickers basically. But I've been doing all of that, and then I've also gone through all of Daisy's old clothes, and well, most of them. I've got a huge pile to give to a friend of mine who has a little girl, and then I pulled out any unisex bits that I feel like I can reuse, or bits I want to reuse, and I put them aside for baby boy. And I've actually got them all in the wash at the moment. I'm just re-washing them all and making sure they're all ready to go and stuff, which is quite nice and weird to see these tiny clothes again. One thing I did find though was quite bittersweet. Now, with Daisy's pregnancy, when I found out I was pregnant with her, obviously I didn't find out that she was a girl until 16 weeks, but the first thing I did when I found out I was pregnant, I actually bought something, and I bought this little hat, and I think it was from Etsy. I have no idea who the seller is anymore, but I thought, a little grey woolly hat, and like, this is what I'm going to bring this baby home in. And I kept it. It was the first thing I ever bought, and I held it very dear to my heart. And then obviously she was in NICU. She was meant to be born in April, which she was, and I thought this would still be suitable because it's not massively warm in April. But she spent 6 weeks in NICU, and by the time she came home, it was kind of too small for her really, and it was too warm because she came home in June, and it was a really hot sunny day the day that she came home, and it was like a heat wave over that weekend. And I never I don't want to get upset, but I never got her to wear it. Nobody ever wore it. And I found it was just like tumbled out of this big bin bag when I was going through it all, and I was like, right, I'm gonna take it this time, and maybe he will wear it home. But it just kind of hit me that like, sometimes when I look back on my own pregnancy updates, I feel like quite embarrassed because I was so excited, and I had no clue what was going to happen, and I planned so hard, and I bought so many things, and I was just so giddy to bring my baby home, and it didn't end up like that. And I feel like that person I'm watching is a completely different person to me now. But I'm going to take it, and I'm hoping it'll be like a lucky omen. But it was just really special to find it, and I'm so sorry that I'm getting all worked up. But yeah, I just wanted to include that because it was just really nice to see it again, and that's definitely going in my hospital bag. But yeah, this is going to be a really long update, so I am going to quickly show you my belly and then I will let you go. So this is my 31-week belly with clothes on, and then this is my belly in all its naked stretch marky glory. But yes, 31 weeks, who can believe it, eh? So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. You've all been keeping me company so much, and it's sad really to think that like in another 9, 10, 11 weeks it's all going to be over, but I can't wait to share them with you all and stuff. I'm really excited, and I hope you're all doing really well as well. I hope that like everything's going okay for you, and if we've got any new babies that have been born in the last few weeks, let me know, because I'd love to hear how it all went. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.